Good evening, Hive members. Hope you all are doing amazing this Thursday, day 4 of the HiveFit challenge. Welcome in, welcome in. Once again, thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight is once again our wrap up of our of this evening for myself, and it's been an amazing journey so far. I know it is a 90-day program and we are only in day 4, but it's been super warm received, and at the same time, having all of you share your victories, share your wins each and every time just definitely inspires me to just just keep going, keep showing up, right? Get out of some headspace when it comes to just taking the easy route, taking uh the route of mostly traveled, uh easily saying no to yourself rather than something that really needs to be done, right? And definitely, a wonderful message from one of my followers on Twitch, saying that we only have this one life that's given to us, and we only have this one body. So why shouldn't we be fueling it with the best fuel possible? And especially, you know, having that hard drive and experiencing life to the fullest. Why would you fill your body with just regular, diesel? If you want to have this fly and have uh, a jet fuel life, and you're only fueling that with diesel or unleaded, definitely, it's it's not going to perform. But yeah, I mean, it's been such a fun, experience so far, and definitely, I continue to just show up each day as much as I can. I don't usually stream every day. I just been in the meantime been streaming Monday to Friday, Monday and Friday, not but I'm so far I've been streaming since Monday every day. I know it's hasn't been long streams with 2 hour streams, 4 hour streams, but each and every time, all of you showed up and been sharing your wins and your victories. So yeah, today it's day 4. The lessons today is the different types of hunger. In the program there are 6, and if you've been doing the 2 enhancements for this week, which is the breathing exercise and doing your very best to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water, you definitely would have covered the one of the hungers, thirst, right? um Once again, our body's made out of 70 percent of liquid. you know Having that staying hydrated definitely helps signals and turns off or mutes that signal, that hunger for to stay hydrated. The other 5, right, are based on various functions, and the truly one that signals that we should be paying attention to is the human hunger of nutrition. Nutrition hunger is definitely the key one that we should uh, keep an eye out. It's the most genuine one that our body needs and looks for resources and nutrients that it needs to function. It needs to repair, right? And unfortunately, we tend to eat food searching for those nutrients. And once again, through no fault of your own, the food industry knows this. Our food has been drained of so much nutrients that after eating uh, a meal from a restaurant, especially for a fast food restaurant, a burger, fries, a nice drink, right? And when the body cuisines the food, digests the food, and finds out that there's nothing that they need, it's gonna continue to like, okay, well, we're in the process. Let's let's continue to eat more, and hopefully, the next meal has the nutrients we need. So that is truly the important hunger that we should pay attention to. Now there's other hungers. Once again, the next one after that is thirst. And if you've been doing the 6 to 8 glasses of water, and for myself, it might be daunting to suddenly go from if you're a small amount of water and then jumping straight to 6 to 8 glasses of water. Then once again, we just approach this 9-day challenge with the Kaizen approach. Just interim, just a few changes um, at a time, not a whole, it's not overhaul, right? So like we do when it comes to our New Year's resolution of I'll work out at the gym, I'll eat healthy, right? I'll go out for walks, and that's so much at one time, especially if you haven't had a foundation of that in December or November leading into that, and you're just like, wait, okay, well, once it's New Year, I'll do all these things. And once you miss one, or then you miss a second one, then you feel like, well, I fell off the wagon. I did my very best. I guess better luck next year, right? And this is not definitely not something we want to happen for you, for you, and that's really wanting to make this commitment change for our health, especially this year, right? So once again, we're just doing small changes here, especially with water. If you can just drink one more glass of water from what you were used to be drinking before, then do that. And who knows, by the end of this 90-day program, with this challenge, maybe you might get to the 6 to 8 glasses of water, right? So yeah, just once again, the important part here for this week is just definitely having that inner dialogue of the food choices that you're having, the consumption of the food that you're having at that moment, and after, and 30 minutes after, really, how does that food make you feel? So yeah, this is where you're gonna have to kind of figure out and just add another layer of thought into what you're eating. Is basically, okay, if you're feeling hungry, what type of hunger is that? Now obviously the next one is variety. So it'd be funny once again, we have this meal plan, and it becomes repetitious. Obviously, we're made up with so many different nutrients in our body. It's kind of key to have that variety, have that full range of fruits and vegetables or proteins. So eating the same thing over and over again, and leaves gap into your you know into figuring out those signals once again of, are you truly hungry, or are you missing out on certain things, right? The next hunger is low blood sugar. So obviously, we're gonna have peaks and dips into our meals, and especially consumption of sugar. Obviously, that will trigger insulin production, and then you'll have that peak of uh, of insulin that all right, you know what, let's continue to have one more, right? And that's the thing, like I said, fruits, especially back in our ancestral days, fruits comes in seasons, right? Obviously, when something that's available, we tend to at that time eat as much as we can, because it's going to be it won't be available in the later seasons, right? So sometimes you'll have this hits of low blood sugar, especially if you're a runner. There's just so much that our body can hold with that fuel, right? The human body can hold about 2,500 of sugars or carbs right now, compared to 200 k of fat, right? So but it's just it's you're if you're having low blood sugar, that will also once again trigger you to eat more, right? So I mean, that will be kind of a body response to that. Now obviously the next one will be emotional hunger, right? Sometimes we won't feel hungry, but we get triggered. And a good example of that is, unfortunately, a breakup, right? A breakup will, trigger some emotional response. And what's a good emotional response to a breakup? Having ice cream, having chocolate, just to you know feel that sense of happiness that you may had in the past, having triggered ice cream, just the sweetness of past memory to that, right? So emotional hunger is one. Are you truly hungry at that moment, or you're feeling food uh, as a comfort, right? And then obviously last one is empty stomach, right? Empty stomach is definitely one. And sometimes, like I said, those who's doing fasting, those who are doing intermittent fasting, and definitely, that is definitely a way to feel the difference between empty stomach that's been, well, that hasn't been filled with food for quite some time, and that of food, whether it's nutritional emptiness, right? And once again, the thing is, back in our ancestral days, our stomachs were meant to be expanded, right? Because you know we're hunting for food. Sometimes food doesn't get readily available, right? And when you do happen to find food, get a fresh kill or a nice uh, resource to forage, obviously, you'll have your fill to the point, you'll stretch your stomach, right? And then once again, the stomach's meant to stretch, but to today's world, especially here in the Western world, you know, we don't give our stomach the chance to shrink down again, right? So keeping that stomach expanded, and you'll never feel that fullness, right? So these are a few things. Once again, I'm continuing to learn as I do this program again, and learn more as I go. But yeah, just add to your dialogue when you're having your meals and deciding, if that urge comes for something to eat. Reflecting on where that signal is coming from. Is it coming from the lack of nutrients, the lack of variety? Are you feeling thirsty? Are you having a sugar spike moment and dealing with low blood sugar as well? Are you eating through a stressful state, right? Or once again, not giving your body that body or your stomach a chance to shrink. You're always will be always constantly not feeling full or satiated, right? So yeah, I mean that was the lessons for that today, this day 4. But once again, putting my spin on this. Yeah, this morning has been such a surprise when especially all of us who are waking first thing in the morning and heading to school, heading to work. Obviously, it's sometimes mornings are just mind numbing, and you just going through the flow of your routines. If you're commuting to work, driving, right? Sometimes you get to your location and you have no idea, like, it just such a go routine that you sometimes you just I don't remember how I got to my work, or anything like that popped out during my drive. So that's definitely how routine it gets when you uh just going with habits, going with the flow of your commute to your location. But for myself, like, my mind just was buzzing with thoughts and ideals and things that you know I need to share with you guys on the next stream. Right? So yeah, my mind was just coming with so many ideals, like in the very first hour of waking up, right? And it just goes to show, once you invest in yourself and put yourself first, especially your nutrition, your health, your one body, your one life, you just never know, the things that you're able to unlock in yourself, right? So a great one, especially I have dubbed this title. Do you have a theme word for this year, right? If you've been on my Twitch channel for the past year, I definitely share like my location, where I live. uh, I have I did a stream this morning after work, and before I picked up my son from middle school. Uh, I mentioned on my stream that you know I live in front of a bridge, and at the same time, my backyard is a bus terminal. Even under the bridge, there's a train yard there too, right? So, the first question that usually people ask me, especially people visiting my house, how do you deal with the noise, right? Eventually, uh, it gets to you, it wakes you up in the middle of the night, right? And, you do your best to get back to sleep. But the thing is, over time, right? Especially realizing our 3.3 million years of evolution, you know, the body, the mind learns to adapt, right? Like our evolution has taught us, especially with survival, right? If you hear a growl behind the bush, behind the trees, obviously there's something there that you need to walk the other way because that may be certain doom. The other thing that our body learned to survive is obviously height, right? So, okay, no, we're approaching a cliff, so yeah, we're not meant to fly. So let's step away from from that situation. So, but yes, once again, we're able to adapt. Me and my family were able to adapt, and obviously my neighbors learn to adapt and deal with these situations that it's we're able to basically turn off, right? So imagine, once again, all the people who live next to a train or train yard, or near uh, near the hospital, near uh, uh, a fire station, right? Or fire hall, right? Just imagine those people who have to deal with those in a random situation, right? We learn to adapt, right? And for this 2026, uh, that is my word, my theme word for the year. Why is that? Because like I'm not gonna be able to. I'm kind of starting this journey. I'm not gonna learn everything, and I shouldn't put on expectations for myself and for us. We're not gonna be able to learn everything, but we can learn as we go, and we don't. It doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to get started. The situation does not have to be perfect, but we just need to get started. So I'm wondering from you guys, what is your theme word for 2026? If you have a vision of what you really want to accomplish for 2026, right? What would make this year a win? What will be your 2026 word, your theme word? Once again, my core values. It's been my core values for the last a handful of years. It's basically family, growth, and community. Once again, this is why I've uh, been streaming for the last 4 days, and I usually only stream Mondays and Fridays. Um, I'm showing up for my community, and they've been responding back and sharing, their wins for that day. They're sharing their highlights of the day, and you know what? It definitely encourages me to, look and search, and that has been kind of like how I've been waking up each morning. That search for a win and a highlight is definitely has changed, changed my perspective, uh, changed the lens of how I view the world. And once again, that could create, you know, um, a ripple effect. And once again, it, yeah, having the community share theirs, it's been truly inspiring. And yeah, definitely today was a different day of um being looking forward with the mind buzzing and thinking of thoughts and ideals and being it in its creative process. Once again, I don't need to know the answers, and once again, I just need to adapt to the situations and the challenges that are ahead of me. And that may, once again, that may change my one of my core values after so many years of from growth to adaptation or adapting, right? What's the difference between growth and adapting? Obviously, growth, it can mean many things to, many different peoples, right? So for myself, it means, the the hunger to learn, right? The to search for, answers from challenges, right? Now adaptation or adapting is quite different, where you're taking action, right? You're responding to a challenge, you're responding to a situation, and taking the appropriate actions, or the current thing that you know to put a response, right? So adapting, once again, knowledge without action, is just knowledge. It's not knowledge from knowledge is power, right? Action, taking action is putting that knowledge into to action, which results in, having that power to, uh, design your life, right? So yeah, it's each day has, just been building off on the next. I know we still have a long way to go here with this 90-day challenge that I put on myself. It's been super awesome. A few have decided to join me on this challenge, and I appreciate all of you who have. And once again, it's just a Kaizen approach. We're not doing a 180 or anything. Every Friday, especially tomorrow, we'll suggest one or two things. And Saturday and Sunday is the buffer zone, right? So you have 2 days to prepare, or if we're eliminating something, you have 2 days to your last chance to binge out, right? And enjoy, because on Monday, where we implement the changes recommended on Friday, uh, it's go time, right? So once again, this week was supposed to for elimination. We're not eliminating anything, because obviously, once again, we're not setting ourselves for failure by doing something that we haven't been doing for the previous weeks, the previous months, right? So what we are doing for that is just observing our food dialogue, right? Our inner conversations with ourselves when it comes to deciding what food we're going to eat, deciding how the food we're interacting with the food that we're eating, and then after the food that we're eating, say 30 minutes after, how did that food make us feel, right? Just having that conversation. And now with the six human hungers, right? Nutrition, thirst, variety, low blood sugar, emotional, empty stomach. It's just, it adds a layer. Okay, especially in the beginning when we're deciding what to eat. Is this truly hungry? Am I hungry because I'm thirsty? Did I have a dip in my blood sugars? Am I eating through emotional or stressful situation prior, or are we really, which is the most important hunger to address? You know, are we lacking nutrients? And especially, you're getting processed foods that came from a box, food that fast food. Once again, just realize, the food industry wants you to buy their products over and over and over again, whether it's having addictive properties like sugar, or having a lot of salt to enhance the flavors to make us go back, and realizing it lacks the nutrients need that our body. Look, we didn't get what we needed. Like, let's look for, and once again, now hits variety. Let's look for something else to get more of this, or more of that, right? So yes, we have now the six different hungers to help add to that dialogue, right? So, and then obviously the other two, and one that addresses one of the hunger is thirsty. Are we having our 6 to 8 glasses? And once again, if you haven't been drinking 6 to 8 glasses last year, right? Just drink one more glass of water on top of that. And who knows, once we get to the 13 weeks of the program, maybe we get to the 6 to 8 glass. But once again, it's just having these small victories, not overwhelming ourselves to the point where it's not sustainable. So once again, this week, at least the next 5 weeks, is building on that foundation. And then from that point, okay, let's start chipping away at things and see how we react uh, uh, to it, when sometimes maybe we'll introduce it back. But yeah, once again, you know, just be uh, as we build this foundation, just be observant. You'll be surprised on how we're able to adapt. Trust your body to give you that signals. If you have that conversation with it, right? The body just has to do its thing to survive, right? And are we spending enough time, whether to slow down and just listen? Once again, the aches and pains, the painful gut experience, the brain fog, the headaches. That's the only way our body can communicate with us to do some subtle course correction, right? And um, are we slowing down enough to listen, to observe, and tweak things out? Okay, well, this didn't work for that. Let's try something else. And then most importantly, if you do find something, don't get don't get back to it again, right? It's awesome if you find the answer to something that's been ailing you, but you know, stay true to that discovery. All right, well, thank you guys for, as always, for hanging out with me tonight. Definitely one of the things that I got out from my this morning's first hour of just of this stuff that has been going through my mind, uh, maybe going through the theta waves, delta waves, alpha waves, going through those different states from sleeping and waking up, and once again our body goes into the state to filter and process all the data that we had that day, and then try to find solutions from challenges that we may have experienced that day, and then hopefully next day give you the gut feeling intuition to take action upon, right? Especially for myself, how I can engage with all of you each and every stream. It's definitely, once again, uh, be that person to create a difference for someone else. It doesn't have to be something amazing or anything. It could be just a simple smile uh, towards someone. That simple smile can be that spark that may set someone off to, you know, being seen and and see that they do have value. It could be that spark for them to now look upon themselves to take action upon themselves, right? So as I always say or start on the streams, you know raise your environment. It doesn't have to be changing anything, but raise your environment, raise yourself, and be that one to raise your community. Thank you guys for joining me tonight for this day 4 wrap up. I will be back again tomorrow for my regular stream. Exactly, nothingness. Exactly. And once again, thank you, Niftiness, for a wonderful stream. And just keep doing what you're doing. Hit that like button, because that you just never know who will come into your channel and who you will inspire to to do something for themselves. But once again, everyone, raise your environment, raise yourself, and raise your community. And who knows where this leads to. All right, take good care. I wish you a wonderful evening. Tomorrow is enhancement day. So, yeah, join me live on my channel by 4 p.m. PST. And let's see what one or two enhancements that we're making today. And if we possibly have an elimination, right? So, but yeah, we'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. Once again, we are at the start of this journey. And let's see where this journey takes us in these next 3 months. Take good care. Have a wonderful evening once again, and I will catch you tomorrow.